How you guys doing today? It's Jimmy. Yeah, so because of a series of unfortunate events, I didn't make it to work today. And I'm going live right now because fuck it, I felt like going live. So let's do this shit. So, um, recent conversations have allowed me to reflect on myself to kind of understand where I'm at this present moment. And one of the things that I understood with that is that I've taken a lot of things into my subconscious that are presenting themselves to me now. And so I wasn't aware that I was aware. And to a certain extent, I really couldn't build, to a certain extent, I really couldn't be held accountable for my actions because I wasn't aware um, of what I was doing. But at the same time, my actions still had a powerful impact. Um, because check this out. Okay, I was aware of what I was doing because I wasn't all the way sure of how to understand my subconscious mind and the stuff that was stored in me. I wasn't really sure why I was doing certain things. I wasn't aware of how it would impact people or affect people, and I wasn't aware of the magnitude that would impact them and how they would go about their lives after meeting me. Because now that I'm aware of myself, I realize that I'm a very enlightening person, um, and the type of words and the sentence structure that I have for those words, it kind of shakes people out of their reality, which isn't really the actual reality that it is. It's just a reality that was created in order to reach somebody's bottom line. So there was something that was originally created, and then the creation took it upon itself to try to create this big thing and control everything that was under it. Which, I mean, if you're that high up and you're in a position to where you can be seen as a person who's in charge of a large system, to not forget about that. And then, like, if you're that big with that, and you're that bent on controlling um, a large thing and forcing your reality on other people, using all type of psychological methods, then there's a pretty good chance you're going to succeed, um, because you have the resources and the willpower and the want and the belief that you can do it. And so you did it. And so a lot of people that I meet are stuck in this reality that other people created for them that really didn't have their best interest at hand. And so when I meet these people and I'm not aware of me being aware, I do impactful and meaningful and lasting things, but unaware of, just unaware of, like, the why, how, or when to actually do it. And so, like, bringing it back, now that I am aware, I feel like I have a responsibility to pay attention to my actions, to pay attention to the words that come out of my mouth, to pay attention to the other person and how they were receiving this, how I intend for them to receive this. Because if I have a gift for you, I'm going to think about what you like. I'm going to pay attention to if you like sweaters, or if you just like graphic tees, if you like capris, or if you like dresses, or if you like pants, or if you like red or blue or pink or green, or if you like every fucking thing. I'm going to make sure that the gift that I give you impacts you in a way that it's something that you'll cherish, um, that'll bring you a good feeling when you think about it, and when you think about the giver of gifts, of the gift. And so I treat my words as gifts. I treat the emotions that I give as gifts. Excuse me. I like your outfit. Nice. Did you see her? You didn't see her. Unimportant, but not really. Probably to you for the purpose of this video, but she was very beautiful, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. It might have made her day, it might not have, but she received the gift that I gave her with a smile, and that's really what, now that I'm aware, and I'm conscious of my behavior and the effects of it, that's all I want to do. I want to make people smile. I want to make people think. I want to make people know why they're smiling and that it's not a fake smile, that you're just smiling all the time because you're upset and you want to change from that upset way. Or not even that, because people aren't always upset. People sometimes are just living a reality happily that they didn't choose to create. And sometimes, if you're okay being a robot, and if you understand that you are a robot, I can't do anything about that. I'll just coincide with you. A robot and a god will coincide, and a man, because I'm everything. And so I only um, make, if I'm saying this right, a changing impact if I feel like you're not okay with where you're at. If you're aware of where you're at and you're comfortable, it's benefiting you, go for it. And this is kind of like a lesson to myself, um, because I made this statement today. I became wise because of my ignorance. And so I was aware that I was ignorant. And so I, I accepted gifts from the universe and from people that would allow me to see that I didn't want to be ignorant. I wanted to be wise. I wanted to be the person that could give gifts in any form, um, whether it be um, emotional, verbal, and that covers a lot. Um, Physical, because sometimes a woman or a man just needs a hug. They need you to look them in their eyes and see that you're sincere, um, about what you're saying and that you really mean what you say. Um, and so just being aware that people are actually people and not just robots. You feel me? Because just because that person is okay with being a robot doesn't mean that it doesn't still take something away from it. When in actuality, being a human takes away from the God in me, but I have to learn how to use that to benefit what I actually am. So, guys, it's Friday right now. Friday the 18th, Friday the 16th. Really, that's all? Wow. So Friday the 16th, um, and I'm really feeling. I hope you guys can hear me because I see the mic isn't all the way up. So I apologize if you missed anything, but leave me a comment. Let's talk about how you feel about what I'm saying, because honestly, I feel like I'd be ranting with direction, but then in like no clear direction because I don't like anything to be too structured. But structure is definitely a benefit, and that's one thing with being aware of my surroundings and myself. Like you can really operate well to the best of your ability with structure. Um, the other side of that coin is, like I've always been saying, there has to be a level of openness to that structure, um, that leaves it open to either expect bigger from your structure or maybe downsize because maybe less, maybe more. But yeah, wow. So the biggest thing that I had to use to my advantage, and that actually like kind of brought out my feminine side, as a heterosexual male, was being distracted by women. And mostly a lot of people, think I don't respect women, but it's gotta be the farthest thing from the truth. Only because with these not so structured expectations, uh, not what I think like woman doesn't have to wear a dress. These are not the type of expectations. Um, she doesn't have to have extensions. She doesn't have to have a short haircut. She doesn't have to have curls, dreads. She doesn't have to be white, black. She doesn't have to clean my fucking house. She doesn't have to wash my clothes. She doesn't have to do my dishes. What I expect of a woman, and this goes to men and women, but more specifically based off of what I get distracted by that I've used to kind of like help me create better and more, um, is the fact that um, she should be she needs to be comfortable, um, and open and guarded and hesitant and spur of the moment, um, and all these things that a woman and people in general are capable of being. And my big thing is once I get distracted and get involved with these women, um, it has gotten to a point where you see just how in somebody else's reality that they're in and that they've um, really got this way of thinking that it's kind of like it's tainted and toxic. And so what I had to pull from that, the inspiration I had to pull from that, was one, patience, um, listening to the verbal and nonverbal communication. And it never was that way. So like from my ignorance, when I say I became wise from my ignorance, um, this realization only came about because I became patient through my impatience. I became peaceful through my anger. I became understanding, um, from my lack of understanding and wanting those things, wanting more of those things because I saw the benefit of it. But naturally, without being aware, or without even trying to be aware, or just because of how the reality that somebody else put in place for me designed it, um, I don't really need the patience to try to understand you because it's just about me, me, me. And if you can't really get in tune with me, 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 then like you're really unimportant. But that's not the thing. Sometimes you have to, not sometimes. There is sometimes because it's timing to this thing. I didn't create time, but I definitely understand it. And so there's time to there's a time to be understood and there's a time to understand. And so I was trying a lot of the times to be understood without understanding this person. And so this person misunderstood me because in a conversation, it's back and forth. But if there's a lot of misunderstanding going on and you're still trying to talk, then that just brings about a lot of confusion. And I had to step back kind of. I really had to step back. Um, and be honest with myself and say, okay, I don't understand. I'm too angry. Um, I'm too impatient at the times when I need to be patient, at the times when I need to be peaceful, at the times when I need to be understanding. Um, and so taking that into consideration, but also being open to the fact that sometimes things don't go right. And sometimes, no matter how much patience and how much peace and how much understanding you try to give to another person, that it'll be time to kind of retreat and go back to your corner by yourself and leave that person alone and be aware enough, be conscious enough for when that needs to happen. Because check this out: if you go back to your corner in enough time, the time that you walked away was the perfect time to where now you're mentally opening yourself up to be able to digest and understand what you couldn't understand while you were with this person trying to understand. So some of the understanding is going to come in the times that you reflect on some stuff instead of right in the moment. And being aware of that, you understand time more. You become wise. You become open to the fact that maybe this was the right thing to do, just at the wrong time. It's almost time to eat. I'm thinking pasta and vegetables. Shout out Tigger. So last night's show was amazing. For I've got work to do, yeah. For I've got work to do. It's a completely different song. I love singing. So the show last night went great. The other artists, like we're texting currently, set up like a little coffee date, whatever. She was gorgeous too. I was looking at her throughout my performance, making sure she was feeling what I was saying, and she definitely was. She was intoxicated, um, but she was definitely aware, and she was aware of me, and she told me about myself through these text messages. And I was thankful for the fact that she actually saw me. She saw through the action to see the purpose behind the action. Because now that I am aware, I know that everything has a purpose. And so if I shake your hand, there's a purpose behind that handshake. If I give you a hug, if I speak to you and open up to you, there's a purpose behind that. You feel me? If I walk away from you, there's a purpose. If I'm angry, but I don't act out of anger, there's a purpose. If I'm angry and I do act out of anger, there's a purpose. There's a reason. Um, so she was paying attention, even in her inebriated state, that really intrigued me. Coming from a woman paying attention to me as a man, it turned me on. And I can tell she's very sensual, and so I don't want um, that to come off as the only thing that I notice, because a lot of times when you only focus on sensuality or sexuality of things, it kind of clouds judgment to be able to talk about other things the right way, or even talk about them at all, because you're so focused on like getting in somebody's pants that you're not thinking about other stuff or the benefit of this person as a person. And so she was aware of me and I was aware of her. I saw the end result with a lot of the things, with my goals. I saw the end result, and being that my work ethic is impeccable, and I really just do what needs to be done because I don't like complaining. I don't like procrastinating, especially when I have clear direction of what's supposed to be done. And the clear direction here, it's vague, but the clearness is just fucking do it. Find what to do. And even if you're finding what to do, you're doing something by finding. Like, that's still an action. Finding is an action. Oh, finding. I'm looking too. So that the other thing, seek and you shall find. If you keep looking, because I got a studio session tonight. I lost the engineer last minute, due to some unfortunate circumstances. Worked out for my good because the guy who invited me to the show last night, he also is an engineer, and now he's available, or I asked him if he was available, and doing that, put myself out there and just doing it kind of really opened me up to a lot of possibilities that I've just hit the tip of the iceberg. Well, forget that cliche. I'm just starting, like really doing this or whatever. So, not being aware of the power of the things that I was storing in my subconscious mind, the seeds that I allowed to be planted and to be nurtured and watered along the way. Not being aware of that didn't stop the fact that I had allowed this stuff to be planted in me, and I had let some stuff take root that would bring out later manifestations. And I'm like seeing this stuff, and I just kept believing. Nobody was gonna. The people who I felt like were trying to deter me from my goals and my dreams of the things that I saw vividly in my mind, the hard feelings. But seeing is believing. So, and not like honestly, not a lot of people have deterred me because I'm good at what I do. I'm fucking awesome. You're gonna love my energy. You're gonna love the entertainment that I give you. Um, you're gonna love how I incorporate music into what I do. You're gonna love just listening to me talking without um, a beat or music, and you're gonna love the fact that I also listen and pay attention to what you want. And I've already been listening because, kinetically speaking, I've been feeling you because I am you, but I'm not you, but I am you. And it's like the deeper inside myself we go, the more we see that there really is no difference. So being aware of that, being aware of my awareness, my consciousness, even in the midst of, people trying to force me to sleep with this reality that they created that only includes me because of their bottom line, not because I like to be included or because this inclusion would benefit me. And so they put you to sleep to the fact that you should be aware of your consciousness. Because if you weren't aware of your consciousness and of the fact that you didn't deserve more and could possibly get more, you wouldn't fucking complain. That's what complaining is. Not being able to like really come to grips and use that awareness, that consciousness. And so I'm aware that I like a lot of women. And so with how my mind goes, I dreamed of myself having some like Hugh Hefner shit going on. And not to that extent where we're shooting covers for like sexy magazines and stuff, but to the point where these women can feel comfortable around a man. Because males make women very uncomfortable because they don't think about her. They think about what she has. And it becomes a selfish voyage to conquer this woman. I just want to see her in her natural state, just see her be, and to make her comfortable enough to where she's okay just being around me. So, and some women, some people in general, men and women, and whatever you identify as, don't know how to accept the fact that you just want them to be themselves. Because reality has had it to where you can't be yourself because it fucking takes away from my bottom line. And how dare you try to fuck up this reality that I created to try to control you? How dare you try to be yourself? What? Nah. So I force people to create their own reality. And I used to be so angry when they wouldn't. But now I'm peaceful. And my peace transcends anything that they can really comprehend at the moment. Although they're just not aware that they can comprehend. So, with my enlightening capabilities, I just want to let you know that um, you're really one of the brightest lighthouses um, that can help people find their way. And I just really wish you would be aware of that part of you and be aware that there is an entity, there's something, because I haven't pinpointed. If I could pinpoint it, I will fuck them up. If I could pinpoint what's trying to keep people from being them true selves, their true selves, we would have a fight on our hands. But it's a different type of fight because now I got to find that, and I got to infiltrate it. I got to infiltrate it and change it from the inside. And a lot of people who aren't aware of their consciousness don't really think about a way to get inside to change those powers that be, because there's a they're stuck in that reality, and that reality kind of scares them from taking on that big of a challenge. But I've detached myself to where I really could um, give a fuck less about like how strong or how persistent this person is being in keeping me away from myself. And so that I'm using the anger towards that person who forces me to try to keep this facade. I'm using my anger towards them in the right way to where I can infiltrate. You know the process of infiltration? You ever seen one of those gangster movies and they got the police have a man on the inside? They have to become. So to put this in further perspective, let me show y'all my plan with this music and this shit while I started this fucking vlog. So the plan. Okay, I hear you. All right, so just consider me like a modern day Black Robin Hood, and the poor that I'm giving to are the people who are not rich in themselves. They're rich in other people's reality, but they haven't really seen that they have that reality. So they're in need and they're in want. Um, and that doesn't sit well with me. As you can see, I'm really making this thing like really just like easy going, chill, laid back. Because I don't want pressure. I don't want you to feel like I want to force you to do anything. I just want to show you that I have the ability to change things, to let you see a perspective that is all encompassing. Hey Siri, define encompassing.
Surround and have or hold within. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
So that's a very broad definition, and I'll break it down. All encompassing, and I know you know what it means. Use your context clues, but if you can't, or just not aware that you can, um, it just means I enlighten you to everything, because everything has a reason and a place and a time. And so if you're only um, aware of somebody else's reality that isn't everything in itself. It's just the reality of selfishness. Um, there's a possible way you can be aware of everything because they have their bottom line consists of you doing stuff. Let's say I work for McDonald's. McDonald's is a created reality, and as an employee of McDonald's, my job is fries. I do fries. I make the best fucking fries because I'm a robot. They trained me, they conditioned me to be the best fry fucking cook I could possibly be. Cool, all well and good. If you like it, I love it. But if you want to manage this McDonald's, but everything that McDonald's is telling you is trying to keep you in place at the fry station because one, you work well at the fry station, and two, I don't want you to manage because I already have a manager in place. And if you move to the fry station and you're progressing up, how far will you actually want to go? How much will you want to take on? How much will you want to know how to do something else? So um, that reality is going to force you to stay at that job that you're at currently because I can't sleep easy knowing that you want more out of life than what I'm giving you because that would mean you may want my position. You may want to surpass me, and that wasn't included in my bottom line. So I kind of really got to do something, maybe on a psychological level, that keeps you in place without you knowing that that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll like send subliminals to where you feel like you have no time to think about managing this company or even owning one for yourself or even starting something from the ground up. So to continue bringing things full circle of because if you're not aware that you're aware, you'll keep complaining or you'll you'll do what I did. You'll realize that I don't not want to be aware of my awareness. And so from your ignorance will come wisdom. You'll search for wisdom, for innovative ways because you know there's something there that wants to keep you from wisdom. There's somebody that's there that wants to keep you from managing that McDonald's. You'll find ways to get past that roadblock because nothing's impossible. Show me something that's impossible, and I'll show you 10 people who've already done it. Guys, once again, I'm Jimmy, and I just want to let you know I'm aware of myself and you, even if you aren't. And I have a responsibility to see to it that I help you become aware. And I say help you because I can shake you out of your sleep, but if you're really tired or you're telling yourself that I'm really tired, I need 10 more minutes in this bed, I'm going to let you go back to sleep. You don't really feel like the conversation will go how you ever want it to go because being aware, I've thought about the conversations that we could possibly have. I've thought about the different outcomes, and I've seen how it should go, and I've seen how it could go, and then there's also a part of me that doesn't know where the fuck it could go. So I'm open to the fact that you may or may not come around, and I'm okay with that because, to be honest, I don't have the energy for anything. I'm just fine with the simple things. I've made peace with all my enemies and they're my demons, so it's a reason you don't see them. They're my fucking demons. I made peace with the. I feel like ignorance is a demon. feel like anger has the potential to be a demon. But you can also use demons to do your bidding. Just control them. Make peace with them by saying, I know you have an agenda, but honestly, you have no real authority aside from what I give you. So here's what we're going to do. In order to infiltrate what I need to, I'm going to become that demon. I'm going to use the traits that this demon has. I'm going to become what I need to infiltrate in order to fool that thing to think. Not even necessarily fool. And on a certain level, yeah, both. Uh, so I can, it's for the greater good. And there's definitely a greater good. There's definitely a greater good. Use what's coming against you against itself. And if you do it properly with a lot of mental work, you'll be screaming, "It feels so good to be alive, baby." Shout out Ralph. But on the flip side, fuck, this human experience is draining. Somebody rated me a 9 out of 10 on my lips yesterday. And I was aware of what she wanted from me. And so, we talked, we had a conversation. I asked questions. I listened to her answers. I listened to her questions. I listened to her statements. She listened to mine. And it got to a point where a question that I asked, we were walking or whatever, towards, we ended up at Penn's Landing. It's out there by the Delaware River. And so I got to a point from listening to her and paying attention to her where I asked a question that actually made her stop in her tracks. And like, it was a mixture of things. I saw the facial expression, the body language, and I felt where this conversation was going because I thought about it, because I paid attention to her. Because honestly, I've been here before. So it's a lot of old, new shit coming up. And so she stopped in her tracks for a few reasons. One, she wasn't expecting a question. Two, she didn't expect to be ready to answer that question. And three, she knew where the fuck it was going. And it went there a little bit. Like it started, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, because you're going to watch this video. You're going to watch this video. Tell me if I'm wrong, if there are a few other factors in there. The arrogant humility that I have, the duality of that is very beneficial. And you got to understand that there are two sides to everything, and some things might be a lie and the truth at the same time, depending on timing. So pay attention. Be aware of your awareness, because you're aware. Shit is storing up, stockpiling in your subconscious, and you have to be aware of that. So my big thing, one, along with trying to breathe underwater, learning how to breathe underwater, and also um, tapping into my subconscious at will. And I've gotten pretty good at it. And you can too. You just gotta. So I was watching One Punch Man in the first couple episodes, and they was like, "Yo, how did you train? What did you do?" And the guy was just like, it was so simple. He was consistent with some of the most basic things that really took him to a higher mental state, more than like so much a high physical state. I'm tired. I'm about to go get something to eat, guys. All right, it's Jimmy once again. Peace. Love you. Be safe.